She wants sex and he doesn't. Labeling your partner, and I'm gonna go with narcissist. Submitting to your husband. Triggers versus cognitive distortions, guys. Ooh, this might trigger you and put you into your own distortion. 90% of marriages fail. She wants sex and he doesn't. Welcome to the Morrow Marriage podcast, guys. And wow, you guys seem to be loving my wife's content. Holy shit.
Well, thank you.
My wife, so I work my ass off to create so much content for you guys, and it works. I go viral. It's awesome. And thank you for your support. My wife just la-di-da strolls in front of the camera with my videographer, fucking makes content 10 pieces at a time, and boom, they go viral. And now all these women are messaging, well, I fucking want sex too. He doesn't. Okay? Now, we've talked about this before, but we don't talk about it enough because typically we're dealing with more of the men who want sex and intimacy, and she just doesn't.
I could count on one hand the women that I've coached who wanted it more than their husbands. And I can only think of one off the top of my head.
Well, and you know, the reality is it's because of, you know, I've seen this for a long time. Everything we talk about goes both ways. I mean, shit, we probably have to do a whole episode on a specific few pieces of content and how it's the exact same comments, but flipped men or women. Meaning, for a long time, women have been like, why isn't this on his FYP page? Why isn't this going to my husband's feed? This is something my husband should say. Could somebody send this to my husband? And now, with your content going out, it's the same fucking thing. Why isn't this on her FYP page? And
what
I'm not going to repeat for you on TikTok. So, so that's what I mean. She goes viral. She didn't even know what the fucking shit is on social media. So, so what I'm getting at is this. The very first thing I want to acknowledge for you, or you guys to acknowledge right now, is if women are saying something when I'm talking to men, and men are saying the exact same thing when Kathryn's talking to women, you guys all need to grow the fuck up. It's the same lessons. We just speak differently to you guys in our content.
So don't attack us if we are saying it.
It's actually fucking ridiculous. It's crazy. The comments are the exact same. I thought about many ways of like, but who's going to see it, right? I wanted to like make like a special fucking report. Like, how do you launch a case study and show the exact comments from men and women flip side because everybody's taking it personal. So she wants sex and he doesn't. Well, he wants sex and she doesn't. It's the same fucking thing. It's always the same thing. It's connection. We've talked about that so much on the podcast lately because the stronger our connection gets, the more you seem to relate and want it, and the more you need to understand you are not influencing the connection that you want. You're just not. Like, first things first, you got to handle your own shit. Okay, we talk a lot about being there for you. You know, masculine men being there for women, the emotional, blah, 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 blah. Are you fucking kidding? Kathryn is one of the most irregular, that's not irregular, most emotional, I think I was going to say emotional regulated, so irregular.
Oh, yeah. Emotionally regulated.
Emotionally regulated. So Kathryn's one of the most emotionally regulated people that I've ever met in my fucking life, okay? And I know that might sound crazy to you guys listening and watching because we talk a lot about her feelings, okay? But here's the thing.
Feelings are okay.
Yeah.
How you process them and how you get through them is what matters. And I am very emotionally regulated.
No, I'd actually go even further and add on to that. It's after she manages them, regulates them, processes them like she's talking about, it's the way she is as a person afterwards. You can be sad because, like in the last episode, talking about her father dying. Excuse me, but she's not treating me like shit because of it. She's not checking out of her responsibilities because of it. Right. Life still must go on, like we talked about in that episode. You can be angry, but if you're slamming doors and smashing iPads, if you're calling somebody a fucking name when you disagree.
The behavior that comes out when you feel emotions is the problem with emotional regulation. You can feel the emotions. You can cry. You can get loud. You can do all these things, but you can't do it in disrespect. You can't do it in like damaging property and damaging people. So the behavior is what you really need to control. The emotions themselves are not inherently bad. Sadness is not a bad emotion to feel. Crying because you're sad is not a bad thing. Treating someone poorly because you're sad is bad.
Yeah.
Or not being able to regulate and just being all over the map all the time with like extreme emotions. That's not good for you or for people around you.
No. And the reason why I'm bringing this up first on this topic, like somebody wants sex and you don't, well, I know we said she doesn't, he doesn't. It regardless of where you're at, whether you're the man or the woman who wants it and your partner doesn't want you, forget connection for a second. There's no possibility for connection if you can't be a kind, gentle, normal, fucking fun, like a person who can process emotions and deal with stress. I said in the last episode, I say it all the time. If you can't handle stress, there's only two kinds of people, one that can and one that can't. And so how in the world can you expect to have a more intimate relationship if, let's say you're flirting with him and he'd rather play his video games because since it's about women wanting it, not him, he wants to watch sports. Well, if you're not more exciting, i.e. physical intimacy is not more exciting than a video game or sports, like that's a you problem. You're probably not respectful. You probably nag too much. You know, I heard you on a one-on-one just before this, we started filming podcasts today. And, you know, he was talking about like, basically, if I have to deal with 15% of like, you know, being, you know, with your accountability and your things that you like me to prove on and stuff, okay, but I don't really want to deal with 60%, that's kind of fucking valid. Like, who wants to go out and plan a date wondering if today's the day, probably, since more than half the time you're going to complain about something. Mm-hmm. And sex, from the man's side, so I'm positive it's happening for you women who want it more than your husband. I'm positive in your emotional deregulation, you're saying passive aggressive remarks. I use the example with men.
Emasculating your husband.
Emasculating your husband, for example, right? Maybe you say something like, why are video games more important than fucking, like, what kind of man are you? Like, and I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but you have to look at what you are doing and realize that emotional regulation is probably the biggest hindrance to what you have missing in your emotional connection. Then we can start talking about the normal shit. What kind of flirt are you? Like, if it's always a fucking flirt, like, that's not fun. I love it. Ever since you
said,
you
have to follow through on the flirt, right? Is that what you mean? Because
no,
always being a flirt is actually fun.
It's actually fun, but what kind of flirt are you? Is what I mean. Like you said on one episode, and I'll never forget it. The excitement. I had no idea, because this is like a date for us when we do these things for you guys, right? And it's something. It's how you said it was like non-sexual flirting is so fun.
Oh, it is
right
fun.
When we exchange banter and wit and like, you know, and for us, because we're so connected and there's intimacy, it always goes back to sex. I mean, there was one, you said something about deep, and we love doing this. I don't know if you do. We never talk about this, but I love that we do this in front of the children because they have no fucking clue what we're saying. But the innuendo that we throw out there.
It's very incognito. So anybody that just judged us right now.
Yeah.
No,
they have no clue.
It's very incognito, the things that we say.
Oh my gosh.
We only have a couple years left before they're going to start to wonder.
Yeah, we'll have to change things a little bit.
What it is that we're saying, but we are throwing out innuendos left and right.
Oh my gosh. It's but see, if you're doing it and your partner is just like not interested, then they come up with things like, all you care about is sex, you know? And I'm seeing it both ways. Like I realize I work with men, but if women are feeling the same way, it's just like what I'm talking about with my social media content and the way people are commenting on our posts. It's just a fucking human thing. It's a person thing. And so you have to realize you need to be working up the rejection ladder the exact same way. You need to be connecting. What's your conversation like? You know, or if you're only talking about your day, nobody fucking cares. Nobody. You know, when you're so connected, it's okay. You know, I was teaching some guys on a coaching call yesterday, and I said, you should be so excited. Instead of being annoyed, this was on a live. So if you didn't catch it on the Facebook Live, this is what it was. It was, you should be so excited. If your partner is talking to you and saying something they've already told you, that's something that they're excited about.
He speaks from experience, because I will tell him the same story
over
6 times.
and over again. And I don't ever say to her, yeah, you already told me. Sometimes it slips and I'll say something like, oh yeah, I remember.
Right.
But I do my damnedest to just
let me tell the story because I'm so excited.
Yes. Sorry, my things on silence here. I do my best to just, tell me more. I think you told me about the black copper Moran chickens you wanted a bunch of times. Okay, she missed them. She didn't get them. Okay. She got some lined up. She went to get them this morning. Okay. And you know what I did right before she got into the vehicle? I said, the black copper Morans, those are the ones you want, right? Those are the ones you're looking for? She goes, yeah.
Big smile.
Right?
My husband knows what I'm going to get right now.
Yeah. Why?
Because I told him 6 times.
And I listen and I care and it fucking makes her happy. So like, you know, like it's so simple. That connection is going to get me laid later. Okay. Like honestly, it was like 9:30. I was trying to I got a new phone. That's why it was not silent right now. I was changing the data over last night. It was like 9:30. You know what happened? My daughter came out last night And she goes, hey, mama wants to know if you can help with the new chick, the special needs one. I can't remember what exactly Briar said. I was like, damn, I'm going in. You know what it was? We were going to go make out in the chicken room. Okay. So here's the thing. You start with those basic levels of connection. You stop critiquing. Stop with the passive aggressive remarks. Like the one I use for men all the time. I can't think of one for a woman because I'm not going through it with Kathryn. But man might be cutting a chicken breast or a turkey breast. This is the most action I'm gonna get all night. Stop doing shit like that. And I'm saying you care more about video games than me. Stuff like that. Like, stop. That's not bringing you together. Go fucking pick up a remote and say, how do I do this thing? Like, get connected. Is it fun? No. Do I like chickens? I tell my men all the time, I can't stand half
He's
of
lying.
what
No, he's lying. He does. He likes them. He loves them. Don't believe this bullshit.
But listen.
The truth comes out.
Part of connecting is compromising. Part of connecting is loving whatever your partner's interested in. And I could not stand it if it was video games. I couldn't. But hey, if that's your husband and you want more, and you could get into the whole hormone stuff. We've talked about that stuff recently and stuff as well. But excuse me. The reason why we're doing this episode again is because you guys are bringing so many DMs about it, and you just need to fucking get your poop together. It's the same shit.
You just need to show up.
You just need to show up.
It's the same thing, different side. Obviously, there's going to be nuances. If it's your husband that doesn't want it, your wife doesn't want it, there's going to be some differences showing up in your masculine and your feminine and not nagging and not bitching and complaining and all kinds of things. There's things that you just don't need to do. Stop correcting each other. Start edifying each other.
Connection, not correction.
Yes. Yeah. Stop correcting each other's parenting and stop triangulating with the kids. There's I could go on and on and on and on and give you a big list. Connect with your partner. That's the first thing. And then you need the desire and the connection and all of that stuff to come back. But you need to show up as the person that you need to be. So it's not just women that don't want men. Women often don't want their husband. Yes, there's hormone issues. There's all these other things because their man isn't showing up. Same thing for you ladies. Yeah. You're not showing up. And there could be those other issues too. But show up. Be that woman. Be his dream wife. That's why he married you, actually. You are his dream wife. Right, baby?
That's right. Exactly. And guys, I'd encourage you, go to our app. There's lots of tools, lots of resources. Get started. Find out. We've come up, Kathryn is working fucking way hard behind the scenes with my lead mentor and her partner to find even more ways to help everybody. Try to find ways for every financial situation, for every type of marriage struggle, for just the ways to move everybody. Like, that is what her sole focus has been for like 6 weeks. And it is moving people. So go.morrowmarriage.com. That's the website. Go.morrowmarriage.com. Get on our app. Start asking questions to whoever reaches out to you, because we are moving people and we want you to be a part of it. Okay, guys? We'll see you next time.
Bye.